Hey folks, how you doing? I did a garden tour about a week ago, and I just wanted to go over a few things in the tour I discussed. And I'm not sure this video is going to make sense to many of you because the garden tour video was like an hour and a half long. But for anybody that went through the whole video, I just want to share a few concepts. First thing I want to say is I did get a chance to get out and do some weeding last week. So I got the weeds caught up on. So here's the hosta bed with no weeds in it. Along the dogs area here, again, got most of the weeds out. Side of the property here, got the weeds out. I need to go back and get the ones around the plants. Usually I worry about the big areas first, then around the plants, and then this bed over here where I've got all this common milkweed. I got the weeds as well, and my iris are about to come into bloom, and if I'm smart, I'll maybe come out and do some cut flowers with these. I did bring the plants from indoors outdoors, and I gave them a good shot of fertilizer, but we had a couple days in the 90s, so they're looking pretty bleached, and what's going to happen is they're going to kind of turn yellow and look nasty, and then they'll throw some new growth. Here's the Farfugium, which is already starting to look a little bit better. A couple pots of begonias, which I still need to move to the back of the house, so I haven't given them any water yet because I want the pots to stay light. The elephant ear is over here, and I gave these guys each a watering can of water yesterday with fertilizer in it. And they're really not looking great, but you'll be surprised how quickly they bounce back. What I'll be doing at some point, sooner than later, is just cutting off all these broken leaves and these leaves that are kind of droopy. But I figure for now, I'm just gonna let them kind of sit here for maybe like a week, maybe 2 weeks, and get some light. And these will probably bleach out as well and start to lose the older foliage, because we're going from a low light to a high light situation, so they might get a little bit burned out. I've got an elephant ear flower coming here, which it seems like last year this happened too. At the end of the winter, when I just brought them back out, they started to develop flowers. They're so concerned they're about to die, they want to set some flowers and keep the species going. I think next year I'm gonna let the impatiens die, and the begonias as well, because it was a lot of work to get them through the winter, and it's a lot of work to get them back out of the house. I might just take it down to just like the elephant ears, maybe the Farfugium through the winter, and just call it quits there. What I'm starting to do with my own yard is when I mow the lawn, any of the high visibility areas, I've been double cutting. So I'll cut the lawn in one direction and then come back and cut it a second direction. And it just helps to kind of even things out more. Keep trying to mow your lawn twice a week through the spring. Don't be afraid to double cut if you have time. I've been feeling a little bit of guilt about not getting these plants in the ground, or these plants in the ground, or these plants in the ground, and these plants, and these plants. I think I'm just gonna give myself permission to enjoy planting them rather than trying to just stick them in the ground. I'll get there, I always get there. It's gonna be fine. I did go ahead and build a butterfly puddler or mudding station. I just took some all-purpose sand and filled a container there, and then like a handful of dehydrated manure, which is pretty much what every video about building a butterfly puddler or mudding station says to do. The interesting part about every video I've watched on building a butterfly mudding station or puddler is everybody builds them, but nobody shows a picture of a butterfly in them. I'm kind of curious if this is going to work or not. The water tends to evaporate fairly quickly, so you almost have to top it off a couple times a day. One day in, and I've seen no butterflies over here. Maybe they'll come eventually. Check out these sweet Columbine. They've really grown a lot just in the week since I made the last video. Looking forward to getting those other Columbine over here. I spent a lot of time last video trash talking these poor Alliums and saying how I don't really like the way they look in the New England landscape. They look out of place. But I gotta say, when I look out my kitchen window and see these nice purple flowers, they're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. I came up with a great plan. In the front of the house here, I've got these alliums that I got 3 or 4 years ago, and I really do like the way they look here. It gives me something cool to look at in the spring. So what I think I'm gonna do is go ahead and grab those purple ones once they start to fall out of bloom and transplant them all and mix them in with these white ones here. And we'll just have this one grouping of both purple and white allium. I took care of the weeds in this bed too. I just really love a nice weed-free bed. And this is Baptisia sphaerocarpa, and it's just coming into bloom. In a few more days, we'll make a video when that comes into full bloom. But Baptisia sphaerocarpa, what a beautiful flower. All right, folks, well, I thought I would just try something different and just give a little quick update video. Leave any comments below, and I look forward to seeing you folks soon. Take care. That's my buddy too. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy.